Please remember not to listen to this within 3 hours of bedtime, or otherwise you might have a nightmare. Also with the pink stone, the ponies found a piece of paper. Scribbled on the piece of paper said, "A last gift from Ponyland." And suddenly the ponies recognised the stone as part of Paradise Estate. They also read on the back of the note, "Don't leave Ponyland until tomorrow, or you won't be safe from the Black Pony of Darkness on Earth." So the ponies decided that to be safe from the Black Pony of Darkness, they would go to Earth tomorrow, on the 8th of December. Meanwhile, on Earth, Bubbles, Dieselbell, Clover and the insects had got on another car. Diesel had sat in the vegetable aisle for the entire day, and that evening, the evening of the 7th of December, the rabbits and guinea pigs and insects had got in another car, and now they were travelling up a motorway. They didn't know where they were going, but they knew that they had to keep moving, or otherwise they would get nowhere. They only hoped that they could save the ponies, as Soapy had told Bubbles to. The ponies spent one final day in Ponyland. At 9:10 on the evening of the 8th of December 2002, they decided to leave. They walked slowly towards the edge of the cloud that they were standing on, and looked down over the edge of it. They saw Earth in the distance, and they were going to make sure that they leapt straight towards Britain, where the pink pony of blooms said Desiree Alder lived. They looked through the pink pony of blooms microscope straight at Britain that was slowly passing by them. It was passing so slowly that the ponies hardly noticed it moving, so they knew they had plenty of time. After searching for quite some time, they saw the 3 little blobs, 2 guinea pigs and a rabbit, lost, not knowing where to go. "So I think," said Majesty, "that it is time to jump away from Ponyland. So say goodbye quickly, ponies, because we might not be coming back for quite some time." "I just can't make sense of this." Bubbles looked at the map that he had picked up, which of course was giant. He had found it laying in the gutter, a page out of a map book. But he didn't know that. He thought it was a map of the world, and he was dragging it along behind him in his mouth. "I just don't understand it. I can't see any signs to soot bales." They turned down another road, and Bubbles suddenly smelled grass. Cried Bubbles. "Yorkshire fog grass, my favourite. Come on you two, let's go and have a look." The animals raced into somebody's back garden and found lots of grass with an A-frame run on it. Clover ran over to the A-frame run and found a brown lock rabbit inside with a white diamond on his nose. "Hello," said the rabbit. "Who are you then? Another rabbit come to race me and lose?" "My name," said Clover, "is Clover. But I was going to ask the same about you. And what do you mean? Another rabbit come to race you? 'Cause I'm very interested in racing another rabbit." "Then you've come to the right place. My name is Champion, the champion of running. But my owner calls me Champy. I would like to race you. If you can get me out of this run, then we will race down the road outside. It's only a dead end, so not many cars come down it, but there's a big bump in the middle of the road. So, you're not likely to win. And what if I don't?" said Clover. "Then you shall have to give me something," said Champion, "just as I will give you something." "The little metal rabbit that I dug up on this grass," he said. "All right," said Clover. "Then I shall race you." And Clover started to dig a tunnel so that Champion could get out. The ponies looked once over the cloud and then together shouted out, "Goodbye, Ponyland," and started to jump one at a time. But suddenly they saw Earth moving at an enormous rate, so quickly that they were soon not heading towards Britain anymore. Desiree had just been looking out the window. Where was Bubbles? Surely he was the one who'd gone. He'd taken his necklace and everything. So what was he doing? Why hadn't he come back? Perhaps he hadn't done what he wanted to do yet. But he'd be back soon. But suddenly, the whole house went mad. The house started to shake. "Mummy!" Desiree shouted. The back room vibrated, and Desiree could hardly stand up. But then, as soon as it had come, it ended, and the back room went silent again. So what was that all about? Desiree thought, looking around the back room and seeing that not much had moved. But then, when she looked around again, she saw what had really happened. Everything had fallen over. "What on earth was that?" said Diesel. "The ground just shook." "I know it did," said Bubbles. "You think I didn't feel it? I had a bit of Yorkshire frog in my mouth, and then it started to move. And those horrible vibrations dragged it out of my mouth. That's all you care about, said Diesel. Food. I hope that Desiree's okay. I just hope Soapy's okay. The ponies had now landed, but they were definitely not in Britain. But they didn't know where they were. They were in the middle of nowhere. They were in the middle of a field, looking at trees surrounding them. But they knew that they were nowhere near where they had leapt to. Are you sure about this, Clover? Said Bubbles. Are you sure that you can win? I am certain, said Clover. I am going to win that metal rabbit, if it's the last thing I do. Then Champy was free, and he quickly jumped out of the hole. Right then, he said, let's get started. They ran out into the road. Clover and Champion made their way up to one end of the road. Bubbles looked after the carriage of insects. Good luck, Clover. But please remember, and a lesson that's worth learning, one you never should forget, is the art of friendly rivalry. It's not always about winning. You must learn that from the start. Enjoy yourself, oh Clover. What counts is taking part. Let's have a race, have a race, have a race. Let's see who is the quickest. Who can be the fastest? On your marks now, get set, go! Let's set a pace, set a pace, set a pace. Let's see if you can catch me. Let's see if you can match me. So let's have a race, have a race. Clover challenged Champy to a friendly race one day, and Bubbles said get ready, but be careful on the way. The rabbits lined up together, enjoying the fun. Oh Diesel Bell, she called out, are you ready to begin? Let's have a race, have a race, have a race. Let's see who is the quickest. Who can be the fastest? On your marks now, get set, go! Let's set a pace, set a pace, set a pace. Let's see if you can catch me. Let's see if you can match me. So let's have a race, have a race. Champion was winning, he sped along the way, and Clover tried so hard to catch him on the way. Eventually he caught him, and Champy had to say, couldn't pass you on that bump, Clover. I need wings like an aeroplane. Let's have a race, have a race, have a race. Let's see who is the quickest. Who can be the fastest? On your marks now, get set, go! Let's set a pace, set a pace, set a pace. Let's see if you can catch me. Let's see if you can match me. So let's have a race, have a race. Let's have a race, have a race, have a race. Let's see who is the quickest. Who can be the fastest? Ready, set, go! Let's have a race, set a pace, set a pace. Let's see if you can catch me. Let's see if you can match me. So let's have a race, have a race. Let's have a race. Let's have a race. Run! cried Clover. But you can't have. No one's ever won. That's why I still have the badge. I can't give it. But I promised. Oh. You don't have to give me the badge. I can tell everyone that I won. And that's enough for me. But I promised. And it'll give you the proof. The proof of what? Bubbles said, suddenly interested. You wouldn't understand. Okay, I'll tell you. My brother, Winner, was bought by... Oh, I know you'll laugh. A magical yellow Pegasus. Pony. Because a girl called Desiree Alder... Hey, that's where we've come from. Our owner's Desiree Alder. You'll have to take the silver badge. I think I know now. I was supposed to give it to you. I dug it up with a little note. It said, the Alder pets. Give this to the Alder pets. And I didn't know what it meant, so I chewed up the piece of paper. Then this belongs to you. He nudged the silver badge over to Clover. The Alder pets are supposed to know the story of the My Little Ponies. That's right, said Bubbles. You do? I might even know the yellow Pegasus, said Clover. But I'll tell you that another time. I'm sure we'll be coming back here one day. Anyway, the story goes, this yellow Pegasus bought me and sent me to Earth and kept my twin brother. Desiree was supposed to buy me, but she bought a Dutch rabbit instead. You? And, well, Winner got given to... Let me think now. I should know my pony. Wind Whistler, because my owner likes Wind Whistler. I mean, your owner likes ponies? Asked Diesel. Yes, but she doesn't own any. Then how does she like them? Her parents are always looking for them, for her, but they never find any. Of the My Little Ponies, that is. She has quite a selection of the unreal ones. Oh well, said Bubbles. So, can we take this silver brooch? I suppose so, said Champion, since it's meant for you. Good. So, we can get on our way, said Diesel. And now, said Clover, I suppose I, in a way, am the new champion. I suppose you are, laughed Champion. So goodbye, Champion Clover. Yes, goodbye, Champion, they all shouted. The ponies looked around. There seemed to be no way out of this field. They had been searching all day. It had got dark, and now it was nearly 10:15 that night. They looked around, and suddenly Soapy saw it. I've got
up in the trees!"
he shouted. "How did that happen?" asked Tootsie. "It wasn't there earlier," said Lickety Split. "Well, I think that we'd better go through it before they close up again," said Majesty, and all the ponies ran towards it. They raced through the gap and found themselves on a beach, surrounded by the sea. "Oh, Bubbles, what did you do?" Desiree said, looking out of the window. "Why haven't you come back? Why haven't you returned? What have you done? Where have you taken Diesel and Clover? Bubbles, how could you be so stupid?"
"Well then, you've been to a supermarket, Diesel, and you've become the world famous rabbit, Clover, and, well, yes, you stick insects have been up, what do you call it, Dawson Hill. So, we've now all done what we wanted to do, except me. I want to find a soot bale and get a pine little lonely for Desiree. Her parents are desperate to get them, and, well, I think I'd like to get her one for Christmas."
The guinea pig, the rabbit and the insects nodded their head in agreement.
"So let's start searching for a soot bale,"
said Bubbles, and they walked down the road. Suddenly the animals saw a car just about to drive off.
"Quickly!"
said Bubbles, and they climbed onto one of the wheels before climbing up onto the back of the car. They stood there, making sure not to blow off as the car took off.
"Well then,"
said Bubbles,
"let's find a soot bale." "Let's hope that this four-wheeled thing, is that what you said they were called? Wheels?" "Yes,"
said Diesel.
"You're learning, Bubbles." "Right, this four-wheeled thing will hopefully take us to a soot bale."
"I just don't believe it. How could this happen?" said Majesty, looking around at the waves that were getting bigger and bigger and crashing against the beach. "We've obviously landed on an island," she said. "But where? Where are we?" "I don't know where we are," said Bubbles, "but I like this mud." They found her rolling around in a puddle of mud on the beach, and then they saw it, a piece of wood sticking out of the mud. "Well, don't just stand there looking at it," said Seashell. "Let's start to dig it up." Sand Digger, the seaside pony, gave all of the ponies a spade, and they started to dig away the mud and sand from around the piece of wood, which started to get bigger and bigger. Suddenly they realised what it was. It's a boat. A boat. It's probably big enough to carry quite a few of us. "Well," said Bubbles, as they quickly got off of the car, which had stopped at a red traffic light.
We've got a bit further. Now, where are we?
They found themselves outside a cafe. Inside the cafe was a brown donkey coin-operated children's ride, and Bubbles suddenly wished that he had a camera and that he knew how to work it.
Desiree would like that picture of a ride. And it might be an old-fashioned one,
said Bubbles.
It might be the last remaining one. What does this say on its box?
Asked Diesel.
Neddy.
Bubbles read. And what does this say? Asked Clover.
Whittaker Brothers. Remember that name, Clover? Didn't you bring some paper and your favourite pen?
Yes, said Clover. What do you want me to write down?
Neddy, Whittaker Brothers, brown donkey, orange box, blue writing.
So Clover wrote this down, and the animals decided to stop for the night outside this cafe. There were so many ponies that they had soon uncovered the boat. They then rested for the night, while a few of the unlucky ponies and their pets had to stand up and clean the boat. But most of the ponies slept, and when the morning came, the boat was shining clean. So, quite a few of the ponies managed to get in. It would probably take about 3 boatloads to get them over. But first, they decided to eat and work out how much food they would have. They didn't know where they were, so they didn't know which way to sail. I think that we should just sail this way, said Seashell. We're sure to find land soon. That's a good idea, said Majesty. And so the ponies counted out all the food that they still had, and found that they didn't have much. They would have enough for about another 3 days. So they hoped they could find some more food by then. Then they got in the boat and sailed over the sea, hoping to find land.
Right then,
said Bubbles.
we must be near the soot bale by now, so let's get on a car.
They jumped onto a car, and luckily the driver just got in as they jumped on, so they were soon driving along the road. They were driving for about 2 hours before they got off of the car in a traffic jam due to roadworks. The animals ran to the pavement and started to run down a side road to the right. Then the animals got on the back of another car in the traffic jam. This time, a white Ford Fiesta. Soon the traffic jam disappeared and they were racing along a road. On both sides of them was grass, and it was all guinea pigs could do to stop themselves from leaping off the back of the car at the grass. The ponies soon arrived at dry land, or the first boatload anyway. They suddenly realised that they were in America. This wasn't right. What had happened? They had left for Britain, and now they were in America.
We're in completely the wrong place,
said Posy. As if we hadn't noticed, said Starlight. Seashell took the boat back to the island and got another boatload of ponies. And then went back for another load. And so it went on, till all the ponies had arrived in America. After this, the ponies were thirsty, so they had a drink out of their bottles, which they had brought with them, and most of them found that they had run out. The animals arrived by a beach. They leapt off to have a closer look at a sign that was blowing in the wind. It was half hanging off of the post that it had been stuck to, and the animals stared up at it. It said, "Come to the Southampton boot sale."
Soot mail!
Cried out Bubbles. On the 8th of December, Sunday, in brackets.
That's it,
said Bubbles. There was a big red arrow on the sign, pointing towards the beach, so the rabbits ran over to the pier. When they got to the end of the pier, they saw a boat, and so they climbed on, thinking that this must be a soot pail. The ponies kept walking day and night, but now they had run out of food and water, and wherever they found a pond, it had iced over. They were going to have to find a way of melting the ice, but the ice was rock solid, and worse still, it was starting to snow. The ponies didn't have a clue where they were. They had aimed for Desiree's house, so why had they ended up in America? There was another strange thing too. Soapy kept telling everyone that he had to leave to go to Rainbow Land soon. A month before, he had insisted that his owner buy 4 guinea pigs, 2 lots of identical twins, and send one of each of the pairs of twins down to Earth. But why so early? If Soapy and Bubbles were leaving to Rainbow Land, they hadn't left yet, so Desiree wouldn't be buying another couple of guinea pigs, would she? But Soapy just said,
"You'll find out soon enough." when the BP comes.
But the BP had come and scared everyone away from Ponyland, and still the ponies, the ones who cared anyway, didn't know what Soapy was on about. So they had asked Soapy, but Soapy kept replying with the same answer. You'll find out. The BP is doing it. The Black Pony of Darkness is on the way. And he's done a lot of damage already. Lancer had listened to Soapy and had gone and bought 2 more guinea pigs, or rather 4 more. But he'd only kept 2 himself and sent the other 2 down to Earth for Desiree to get. But why would she get them? Because Bubbles hadn't gone to Rainbow Land yet. Oh well. Soapy would hopefully tell him what to do with the 2 guinea pigs. The 2 guinea pigs, though, were still being looked after by the rabbit and guinea pig breeder, Romper. For some reason, she said that nobody was going to take a guinea pig, because she had believed the ponies about the black pony coming, and she said that it would be bad luck to get a guinea pig when the black pony was coming. Everybody found this very confusing and tried to forget about Soapy and his 2 guinea pig friends. The 2 guinea pigs were quite nice guinea pigs. One was ginger and the other one was multicoloured, with a nice black nose. They were both male guinea pigs and were called Twinkle and Dodge. What would go with these names? What would Desiree call them if she got them? Glitter and Splodge, or something else? Or perhaps not. Something different. Anyway, as I was saying, the ponies were finding it very difficult. All the water had frozen solid, and nobody had anything to drink. There was also no food, but no one was really bothered about that. Of course they were hungry, but they were more thirsty. They shared out what little water was left. Gypsy had brought quite a lot in her green and orange cart. Quite a few of the animals were having a ride in this, and quite a lot of the pony's belongings had somehow got in there, and she always pulled one lucky pony. Of course, Truly and Lancer, who had pointed out that the black pony was coming, and of course all the other ponies would have probably been captured by the black pony if not for them, didn't get a ride in the cart. But that wasn't the only unfair thing in Ponyland, so nobody complained. Then, suddenly, somebody screeched out. They were so used to thick ice that someone had stepped on an iced-over pond. And now they saw the ice cracking below their feet.
This can't be a soot bale,
said Bubbles.
I haven't seen a single MLP yet. In fact, it looks nothing like Desiree described. I don't see any old junk on tables or underneath them. But, on second thoughts, said Bubbles, perhaps that's because I can't see any wooden tables. That might be a good reason, said Dieselbell. If you can't see the wooden tables, then you can't see the stuff on top of them, can you? Yes, well, of course, I thought that.
Bubbles looked at her.
So what was that sign pointing to this boat for? That's what I thought someone said. We're riding on a boat. And we're on our way to a place called America. We're delivering something in those cardboard boxes over there.
The animals looked over and saw the big cardboard boxes with... Now what was that written on the side? Del Monte, Geese and Fifes. But they were makes of bananas. They couldn't be delivering bananas, could they? Bubbles saw out of one of the boxes a strand of pink hair.
I think,
said Bubbles,
that perhaps soot bales aren't actually like Desiree describes. We're on a soot bale. I can see pink hair out of that box.
He ran over to it, found that the boxes weren't cardboard, but were actually wooden, and that he couldn't chew his way through. But there was one that the animals all together could leap on top of, knock the lid off, because they'd be heavier. Together, of course. So they leapt on top of it, and uncovered what was inside. It was... No! Screamed the pony, who was a yellow pony known as Sky Skimmer.
I'll save you!
Shouted Soapy. No, Soapy, no! His owner shouted, but it was too late. Soapy was out on the ice and was falling through with Sky Skimmer. Sky Skimmer's friends, Bright Eyes and Mimic, ran out onto the ice after her. Then some of the other ponies followed. What on earth are they doing? Said Majesty. Come back here. Don't do that. You'll freeze to death.
It's not cold,
said Bubbles.
It's warm water.
Huh? But then they saw it, the steam rising from the pool. The ponies were all bending down to drink the water now. So the rest of the ponies rushed forward and took their turns. Soapy. That was very silly of you, said Majesty. Somebody would have saved Sky Skimmer. You shouldn't have gone out onto the ice. Your owner called you back. But
But I wanted to go and rescue Sky Skimmer. Sky Skimmer's one of my friends. She's one of my owner's friends.
So that's why you ran out on the ice. Well, don't you think you're a closer friend to your owner than your owner's friend's friend?
I guess so.
So, you shouldn't have run out on the ice. What would have been better to lose? Your friend or your friend's friend?
Oh, I see what you mean now, Majesty. I'm sorry.
Well, go back and see your owner. And she pointed at Spike, we'll go and have a drink.
It's all Barbie dolls,
said Bubbles. Oh, the ponies were not to be found in those boxes. To find out if the guinea pigs do find some ponies, turn to side B. Have some ponies.